The sun had not yet risen, but the grand bazaar was already a sea of noise and shifting shadows. In this world of spices, silks, and shouting, there was one law: the price is the price. Malik was a man who lived by that law. He was a master of the long trade, a merchant who could look at a piece of rough stone and see the diamond hidden inside. His stall was the most respected in the market, filled with fine copper lamps and hand-woven rugs. Malik prided himself on his sharp eyes. He could spot a fake coin from 10 paces and a dishonest smile from a mile away. In the market, Malik, he would often tell his young apprentice, Samar, logic is your only friend. If a deal sounds too good, it is a lie. If a person acts too kind, they want a discount. Keep your heart in your pocket and your eyes on the scale. Malik believed that every problem had a logical solution. If the roof leaked, you patched it. If a customer complained, you showed them the contract. Life was a ledger, and as long as the numbers balanced, Malik was at peace.
This trade isn't fair! You owe me more! Patience. Our agreement is clear, as written here. My apologies.
One Tuesday, when the humidity hung heavy over the stalls, a young boy named Omar appeared at the edge of Malik's shop. He was perhaps 9 years old, wearing a shirt that had been mended so many times the original color was a mystery. In his hand, he carried a small, empty wicker basket.
He didn't look at the expensive rugs. He didn't touch the shimmering lamps. Instead, he stood by a small wooden crate near the back of the stall where Malik kept the leftovers: chipped cups, frayed ribbons, and dull coins from foreign lands that held no value. "How much for the blue ribbon?" Omar asked, pointing to a dusty, faded strip of silk that was barely 3 inches long.
How much for the blue ribbon?
That? It's trash, boy. Give me a copper and take it.
Omar reached into his pocket and pulled out a single shiny copper coin. But he didn't hand it over. He looked at the ribbon, then at the coin, then back at the ribbon.
Is the ribbon strong?
It's silk, boy. It's for decoration, not for pulling a cart. Why do you care if it's strong?
I need it to hold something heavy.
Then you are buying the wrong thing. Go to the rope maker 3 stalls down. A ribbon is for beauty, a rope is for weight. That is the rule.
The boy lingered, his eyes fixed on the ribbon.
But the rope maker's rope is brown and ugly. This is the color of the sky.
The sky won't hold your heavy load, child. Logic, remember? Use the right tool for the job.
Malik said, turning back to his books.
For the next 3 days, Omar returned. Each time he brought the same copper coin. Each time he asked a different question about the useless blue ribbon.
Does it shine in the dark?
No, it's just a dusty ribbon.
Will the color wash away in the rain?
It might.
If I tie it in a knot, will the knot stay?
Malik was becoming annoyed. He was a man of business, and this boy was wasting his time over a piece of literal garbage.
Listen to me. I am trying to help you.
But the ribbon, it must work.
You keep asking. You are being stubborn. You are wrong about this ribbon. It is weak, it is faded, and it is useless for carrying anything. Why do you refuse to listen to reason?
The market grew quiet around them. Other merchants looked over. Malik felt justified. He was the teacher, the elder, the man of logic. The boy was simply a dreamer who didn't understand how the world worked. Omar looked down at his empty basket.
I'm not trying to be wrong, Mr. Malik. I just see it differently.
There is no differently. Malik raised his voice. 5 plus 5 is 10. A ribbon is a ribbon. A rope is a rope. If you try to use that silk to carry a heavy load, it will break and you will lose whatever is inside. That is the only truth. Omar finally placed the copper coin on the table. "I'll take it anyway." Malik sighed, grabbed the ribbon, and tossed it into the boy's basket. "Fine, waste your money, but don't come crying to me when your heavy load falls to the ground. Curiosity is a strange thing. It can lead even the most logical man down a winding path. That evening, as Malik closed his stall, he saw Omar walking toward the edge of the cliffs that overlooked the sea, just past the market walls. What is he doing? Malik wondered. There are no shops there, only the old ruins. He followed at a distance, convinced he was about to see the boy's heavy load crash and break. He watched as Omar sat on a crumbling stone wall. The boy reached into his basket and pulled out the blue ribbon. Then he reached back into the basket and pulled out a small, jagged piece of a broken mirror, the very same mirror Malik had thrown away a week ago. Omar didn't tie the ribbon around a box. He didn't use it to pull a cart. He tied the blue ribbon to a long, thin stick he found on the ground. Then he glued the piece of mirror to the end of the ribbon. Malik stepped out from behind a pillar.
Is that it? That is your heavy load? A piece of glass?
Omar didn't look startled. He looked up at Malik with eyes that seemed far older than 9 years.
The load isn't the glass, Mr. Malik. The load is the light.
The boy stood up and held the stick over the edge of the cliff. Below, in the dark shadows of the sea caves where the tide was coming in, a small fishing boat was trapped against the rocks. The sun was setting, and the cave was swallowed in darkness. Omar began to move the stick. The blue ribbon danced in the wind, and the mirror caught the very last ray of the setting sun, reflecting a brilliant dancing blue spark deep into the mouth of the cave. A moment later, a faint whistle came from the darkness below. A man's voice called out,
I see the blue! I see the way out! Who is he?
My father. His lantern broke and he was lost to the current.
I'm so sorry.
My father told me if I could just show him a bit of the sky, he could find his way home.
Malik stood frozen. He had looked at that ribbon and seen a weak textile. He had looked at the heavy load and expected a bag of stones. He had applied the logic of a merchant to the problem of a son. The ribbon wasn't carrying weight, it was carrying hope. It didn't need to be strong enough to pull a ship. It only needed to be bright enough to guide one. The wrong tool had been the only right solution in the world. Malik watched as the small boat slowly navigated out of the dangerous shadows, following the dancing blue reflection until it reached the open, calm water. The merchant felt a tightness in his chest that no ledger could explain. All his life, he had prided himself on being right. He had corrected everyone. He had measured the world in inches and ounces. But he realized that he had been blind to the most important measurement of all, the weight of a person's purpose. He looked at his own hands, the hands of a master who thought he knew everything. For the first time, they looked empty.
Omar,
Yes, sir?
the ribbon, it held the light perfectly.
Malik reached into his pocket and pulled out the copper coin the boy had given him. He placed it back in Omar's hand.
Keep it. I think I've just been paid in something far more valuable than copper.
As the boy ran down to the docks to meet his father, Malik stayed on the cliff. He watched the blue ribbon flutter in the twilight. He realized that the biggest obstacle to learning isn't ignorance. It's the bridge we burn when we think we've already arrived at the truth. We often mistake our experience for the only truth, forgetting that a heart sees things a head can never understand. Don't judge a person's wrong methods until you understand the heavy load they are trying to carry. Sometimes the most logical answer is a cage, and the incorrect one is the only key that fits the lock. If this story showed you that even a useless ribbon can save a ship, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Think of your support as that little blue spark. It might seem small to you, but it's exactly what guides this channel through the vast ocean of the internet. Leave a comment below with a time someone doubted your weird way of doing things, only for it to save the day. I'd love to celebrate your incorrect brilliance with you.